Hey guys, welcome to another Tool Guys review. Today we're going to be talking about the Leatherman tread and talking about some of the pros, the cons, the usefulness, the functionality, and the comfort of the overall device. Now, when I first decided to pick one of these up, I fell in love with the design. The thing looks fantastic, and that's really one of the strong suits, is it looks just so cool. But a lot of people were saying that was all it had to go for it. You know, it's just a piece of man jewelry. It's just fancy. It's, you know, it's heavy. It doesn't really work very well. It just looks really cool. And I think there's a little bit of weight to that, but I don't think that really holds a ton of water with me. I've been using it easy 3 to 5 times a week, and while that doesn't sound like a lot, you know, you're going to get a lot more mileage out of a standard Leatherman tool. But while it doesn't sound like a lot, when I have used this thing, it comes in clutch. It has a lot of potential to just kind of save the day at the last minute there, or, you know, be useful in an odd situation. So there it is on my wrist, and it out of the box was gigantic. I had to pull out 2.5 links, and while it might seem like that lost a lot of functionality, it really didn't. And I'll get more into that here in a minute. But I did have to take out 2.5 links to get this thing to fit on my wrist. And it fits pretty snugly. You can see it does leave a little bit of an indent there, and it looks worse on camera. It's not that bad, and it's not tight. It's not uncomfortable. It does feel pretty good to have on your wrist. And one of the other complaints that people had was they were saying it was really heavy. It was super bulky. I went back to wear my watch because this thing was too heavy for me. I think that's a load of malarkey. It's really not heavy at all, and it does feel good to have on your wrist. It's a nice weight. It's what you'd expect from stainless steel, but they did a lot to reduce the weight. They did cut through a lot of the links. They bored through them there. They bored through them here, you know, with the box wrenches. It's pretty light. It's especially with all these extra links gone. It's pretty light. Now down to the actual functionality of the thing. How useful is it? Is this a go buy it because it's going to be the most useful tool you own? Definitely not. It's not super 100% useful all the time. But like I said, when it does come in useful, when it does come in handy, you're glad you have it. You're super glad it's on your wrist there, and it's ready to go all the time. Now, I work out in the field a lot. I also work as a DJ, so I can't really have a lot of tools on my person. I gotta wear dress pants, things like that. So I can't have a lot of things in my pockets. And this thing comes in clutch. Just the other day, a chair broke. A chair fell apart at this wedding, and I had to put it back together real quick. I just had the Phillips head, and, you know, no one's got a screwdriver at a wedding, so it's, you know, it's the guy that, boom, fixed the chair and, you know, saved the day. So this link is easily the most used. It's got the flathead and the Phillips on it. And one of the complaints that people had was that it was made out of a softer stainless steel, so they were concerned about the tools rounding or wearing off. I've not seen that at all. You can see that Phillips head there. Does that look rounded to you? No, it works fantastic. The most difficult tool to use on here, which is kind of a bummer, I thought it would be the most useful, is the bottle opener. Because when you use the tread, you're supposed to hold the tool linearly and then, you know, twist it. But when you use the bottle opener, when you try and hold it linearly, maybe it's because I had to take out so many links, but the bottle opener, because it's rounded like that, you know, how am I supposed to use that? You got to kind of do this sort of thing, and then it's at this awkward angle to get the bottles open. But it works all right. It does. It works all right, and I'm glad I've got it when I do. The cutter is also extremely useful. It's very, very sharp. It glides through, you know, letters, and I use it to cut a lot of plastic tubing, like plastic irrigation tubing. So that's really useful for me. The glass breaker here, it actually says, I didn't realize this, it says scribe in there. I'm not 100% sure if it's supposed to be a glass breaker or if it's supposed to be a scribe for like marking wood and stuff. I've used it more for a scribe. I haven't had to break any glass, but if my card went off the edge of a river or something, I would be glad to have it. Now, the box wrenches, I have not had to use those, and I really am not convinced that they would be useful. Most of the time, I mean, you've got, you know, a bolt with a nut on it that you're trying to tighten, and that bolt is coming through the back. You're really trying to tighten it, so if you got to hold this thing like this so that the bolt can fit, you know, up through there, and then this is all flopping around. It just seems super awkward to use. If it was a very flat surface, if it was a completely flat surface and you were trying to tighten something on it, they might be useful, but I have not had to use them. I have had to use the Allen keys a couple times. I was helping some friends move out of the dorms, and some of their chairs, their tables wouldn't fit quite in the back of my truck, so we had to take them apart. And who's got Allen keys on them at all times? Nobody, right? That's where this was super useful. One of these big Allen keys fit into most of the bolts on the chairs and the table, and we got to pull that stuff apart. So at the end of the day, is this something that you need? I'd say yes. I love this thing. I'm super happy with the purchase. I think it was well worth my money. It's very useful. But is it something that is going to be useful for everybody? Absolutely not. This is probably something you could get somebody as a gift and they would love it for years. Is this something that I would recommend? I would say so. I like it. I really do. I think it's very useful and I think it's very cool. So thanks for checking out Tool Guys Reviews, and we'll see you next time.